Yo, what is good, YouTube, and welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we are going to be doing episode number 18 of I Build Your Teams, the series where I build my viewers' teams into the best teams possible for my team unlimited and or competitive play based on how much MT they have, what their teams are currently looking like, and things like that. Before we hop into this video, if you haven't, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 3,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I've been uploading every single day. I uploaded like 6 videos yesterday. With the drop of the new season, going to be uploading at least, I think we'll be uploading like 2 videos today. So I would appreciate y'all's support if you haven't already, if you do subscribe. But yeah, without further ado, let's hop right into it and see what we're looking at with the first team coming in today from Kubek. He says he's got about 270 KMT, thinking about getting a Baron Davis to replace AI. And I probably would not recommend that, to be honest. Baron Davis is not that good of a card. He has base dribble style. He doesn't have elite size. That's not something I would recommend. Instead, I would recommend going after a guy like Penny Hardaway, and I think Penny Hardaway could replace like Dame off your bench. You could start Penny, bring AI to the bench, and those could be your two PGs as Penny and AI, which I think would be a significant improvement for the squad, especially since Penny is not that expensive. Then after that, I think you could look to upgrade your backup shooting guard position. I think there are a couple ways that you could go about doing that. The first one would be going after a guy like Terry Dishinger. If you don't want to go after Terry, you can always go after a guy like Pink Diamond Joe Johnson, or Diamond Klay Thompson, or I mean, there's just so many shooting guard options right now. Mike Miller, Buddy Hield, if you want to go over budget. Like, there's tons and tons of options at the shooting guard position right now to replace a guy like Michael Redd, who I just don't think is that elite at that shooting guard position anymore. So that's the other position that I would definitely be looking to upgrade. And then after that, I think the team is honestly looking pretty solid. You have solid centers, solid power forwards. I mean, you could go for a backup small forward or another power forward if you wanted to, but I probably wouldn't at this point. I think I would just save the MT after picking up a point guard like Penny and a shooting guard like maybe a Pink Diamond Terry or a Pink Diamond Joe Johnson. And yeah, I think I would leave it at that for the time being. Next squad comes in from Brian. He says he's grinding for Pascal, Russell, and Yao. Penny and Gary, that's like 2 of the best point guards in the game. I still don't understand why we haven't got more point guards, but your point guard position is fine. Your small forward position is really good. Power forward position is, I like the players who have power forward and center, but I think I would switch stuff around. Honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of Bosch, and I think for his price, Ibaka's a better card, and McAdoo, if you have him fully badged as a shooter, might be as well. What I would do is pick 2 of these 3 guys, Ibaka, Bosch, and McAdoo. However you want to pick them. You could pick Ibaka or McAdoo, or Ibaka and Bosch, or even Bosch and McAdoo, but I probably would definitely pick Ibaka and then one of the other 2. But pick 2 of those guys, play them as your centers, and then look to pick up a power forward. You said you're grinding for Pascal Siakam, so honestly, you can just slot Siakam right in there at that power forward position when you get him. And that'll give you a really solid squad until you get like a guy like Yao. Cassie Russell, if you get him, can replace this Kobe. If you don't get him, Kobe can just stay and play for now. I think that's fine. I don't think you really need to make any replacements right now, especially with the 100 KMT that you have. Just grind for the Siakam. Pick 2 of these guys to play center, and then one of them you can sell, and then wait for Yao, wait for Cassie Russell, and just, you got a really solid squad. You already got blessed with Reggie Lewis, which is a huge W. I wish I had that card. I'm trying to get him, but yeah. That's about all I'd say with this squad. Next team today comes in from Danny. He's got about 700k, says he's open to any suggestions. Penny and Gary, again, great. Terry and Kobe, super solid. Kawhi and Greedy, also super solid. Giannis and Mo Lucas. As long as you have Mo Lucas with some shooting badges added, he's really good at power forward. And then D-Rob and Jaren is not bad. Jaren Jackson Jr., I think you could upgrade to a guy like signed or even unsigned, doesn't really matter. Serge Ibaka. The only difference between those 2 cards is Hall of Fame set shooter, which I don't think is a very important Hall of Fame badge at all. So, yeah, pick up a Serge Ibaka to replace Jaren Jackson Jr., maybe add a badge like Bailout Quick First Step to the card to improve him a bit, and I think that's the only upgrade that I think you need to make right now. You could replace Kobe with a guy like Pink Diamond Joe Johnson, get the signed version as Hall of Fame Quick First Step. You can replace him there, and then at that point I'd probably grind clutch time for Pascal Siakam and Reggie Lewis, because those are 2 of the better cards at their positions in the game. But honestly, picking up backup center like Serge Ibaka, and then maybe replacing Kobe with a guy like Joe Johnson is about all I can see for the squad that needs to be done. Next team today comes in from F-Gun. He says willing to get rid of anyone but the dentist. He has almost 300 KMT, plays Bucks 2018 5 out. Only has Timmy D and PG-13 because they're both badged and have diamond contracts. I'll be honest, kind of hard to see the team because you didn't crop the picture. So that's kind of annoying, but it's fine. Just gonna zoom in a little bit on this one. It won't let me zoom in on the picture though. That's annoying. Anyways, whatever. I can still see it. He has Wade, Joe Johnson, Kawhi, Rudy Gay, D-Rob, Penny, Kobe, Terry Dischinger, Draymond, and Ibaka. I would honestly, I know you said you have these guys only because they're just up and have down contracts. Just sell them to add to your MT stack, to be honest. You can plug in the golds or emeralds who aren't going to cost much to put contracts on at all. And I think if you sell them just to free up another 150-ish thousand MT, you're going to look at 450,000 MT, and that's going to give you more flexibility for both now and in the future. First thing that I would do is, honestly, actually, your point guards, I think these are the two best point guards of the game, Wade and Penny, so I love that. Joe Johnson and Kobe, super solid. Kawhi and Terry, also phenomenal. Rudy Gay and Draymond, really solid. And then D-Rob and Ibaka is great. I think maybe you can upgrade this Kobe to one of the better Kobes, or upgrade him to a guy like Opal Klay Thompson if you can find one with the Hall of Fame quick first step, or even without Hall of Fame quick first step. That might be a nice upgrade to pick up as an Opal Klay Thompson. I would try to grind for Reggie Lewis because I think he's the best shooting guard in the game, so if you could pick him up potentially, that would be a good upgrade. And then at the power forward position, I think that's probably your weakest position. Like, I know Draymond is still a really good budget card. He definitely is. I think he's a great budget card, but I think you could potentially look to pick up a guy like maybe a Giannis Antetokounmpo. I think Giannis has been a bit under the radar recently just because of all the new cards we've gotten, but I still think he's a top tier power forward in my team, and he's not going for that unreasonable amount anymore. He used to be an incredibly expensive card, but I think he's still one of the best cards in the game, and you can probably get him for 250,000 MT on 200,000 MT, and I think that might actually be a solid upgrade for you. You pick him up, play him power forward, and move Rudy Gay to the bench, and overall, this squad, it's already really solid, but if you add to that, I think you got one of the better teams possible in the game. Boo Gaming is the next team today. He's got fire. He says he likes to have firepower off the bench, 25 plus Hoff, 75th Durant, he'll probably put up tomorrow, so MT is an issue. Reggie, Maurice Lucas, and Siakam. Okay. Point guards are great. Shooting guards are that. I would definitely replace Jaylen Brown, but we'll get to that in a second. Terry and DeMar DeRozan is decent. Rudy and Dolph also solid, and then D-Rob and KG is super good. So point guard position is great. Center position is great. I don't think those need to be touched. Jaylen Brown, I don't have any issue with at all, but I think you could upgrade him to a guy like signed Joe Johnson, admittedly, because you're going to have a lot of MT. I know JB is a free card, but I think picking up that Joe Johnson is just going to give your offense in your starters just help it hit that next level, because Joe Johnson is such an elite card in my team currently. In terms of what to do with guys like Reggie, Maurice, Lucas, Siakam, I'll say this. Once you get Reggie Lewis, if you get him, you can just slide Kawhi to the 3 because he's better than DeRozan, and play Reggie Lewis at maybe the starting 2 and Joe Johnson at the backup 2. Siakam can come in at the 4 for a guy like, he can start for Rudy Gay, and Rudy Gay can come off the bench for Dolph, and you can sell Dolph. And then Maurice Lucas, he probably plays over KG if you badge him, because he's a better defender than KG and he still can shoot the ball. But if you do want to badge him out for threes, to shoot the three-pointer stuff with badges like catch and shoot, sniper, and quick first, or catch and shoot, sniper, quick first step, things like that, you can really probably replace KG with a guy like Maurice Lucas as well, but I don't think that's a necessity at all. So honestly, the only guy I would pick up is Joe Johnson, and then once you get Reggie and Siakam, you can slide them in and rearrange your lineup a bit. And then the final team today comes in from Francisco. He's got 460 KMT, loves D-Wade, starters are badged out. He's got a few players on his bench that are badged out too. He says Ja is one of his favorite players. He's wondering if he could change anything up, and I definitely think you can change some things up. He only wants to spend about 150 to 160 KMT, which I'm cool with. He says Ja is one of his favorite players. Jaylen Brown is fully badged. I think you could do a couple different things. I think the first thing you can do is honestly slot Jaylen Brown at your backup 3, because that will give you more defense right there, replacing J Rich with Jaylen Brown at the backup 3 instead. And I think JB's a better card, especially if you have him badged out, than a guy like Dan Marley. So I think you can slot him in right there at that backup 3, and then you can pick up a starting 2 guard. I think a guy like Joe Johnson, I recommended him already a couple times, but he would be a great option, or Terry Dischinger. One of those 2 guys, really up to you which one you pick, but I'd pick one of those 2 guys to slot in here at that starting 2. And then the one other position that I would potentially look to upgrade a little bit would be moving Ibaka to like the center position, and then KG to the bench, or KG start at center, Ibaka to the bench, either way, and then upgrade the power forward position just a little bit. I think Carmelo can still play at the backup power forward position, that's fine, but you might want to pick up a starting power forward. like, for example, a Rudy Gay. I think Rudy Gay is a great card still. I think you slot Rudy Gay in maybe here and then bring a Bach off the bench to replace Jaren Jackson Jr. And I think overall the front court will be looking a bit better as well. At that point, I would kind of, like I've recommended for a couple other teams, grind for Siakam, grind for Reggie Lewis, see if you can get those 2 cards to slot in at your power forward and shooting guard positions. But definitely a super solid squad. You make a couple upgrades to add a shooting guard, add a power forward, and your team's gonna be looking great. But yeah, that is gonna do it for this video. Hopefully you did enjoy. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you want to be in a future episode of I Build Your Teams, make sure you follow me on Twitter as well. The link is down in the description, and be on the lookout for a tweet about this series every single Friday. But yeah, like I said, that's gonna do it for the video. I appreciate y'all as always, and I'll be back with more 2K content very soon. I appreciate y'all. Peace.